All right, enough screwing around. Let's get this show started. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you've been well. Been a few days since we did this. Hope everybody's fine. Hope you had a good weekend. Mine was we'll put it that way. I don't know what it's like to actually physically be stabbed in the back, but I think I have a pretty good idea. I woke up yesterday really early, and my wife was like, "You didn't sleep very long." Like, yeah. And she goes, "Did I wake you?" Because she'd been sending texts and in our group chat. Like, no, it wasn't you. It was a stabbing pain next to my spine. I had no sleep this weekend until this morning. I went to sleep and I just passed the fuck out. And luckily, got some sleep. Woke up feeling a little better. It's not great yet, but I'll take the win. Hope you guys have been well. Did you have a good St. Patrick's Day? I got to tell you this story about my little one. Little Butt and her mom were talking about St. Patrick's Day, and she says to her mom, "It's St. Patrick's Day," and her mom goes, "Yeah, you need to wear green today." And she goes, "No, I don't. I'm Irish." She goes, "Well, how do you know you're Irish?" She goes, "Because Grandpa is." And I was just like, "That's my girl. That's my girl." Instead of wearing any green, she wore solid pink because that's who she is. And I love her for it. But yeah, I don't know how she knows. I'm guessing my daughter said that she mentioned it to her last week or last year. And apparently she just remembered it because it was about grandpa. Of course she did. How the hell are you guys? I didn't do a whole lot. I know very little of the news, so we're going to be winging it here. I played a little bit of Diablo 4 because hi Mickey, hi Nuts, how you guys doing? I have the game pre-ordered, so I was able to get into the beta, and it's a pretty good game. I was actually really surprised and happy with it. The main story so far sucks, I'm not gonna lie. But they only gave us the first chapter to play, so hopefully it picks up, hopefully it gets a little better. But if you're interested in the game, based on what I've played so far, I would absolutely say, yeah, go ahead and pick it up because it's fun. There's another beta weekend next week if you're interested. Next weekend from the 24th through the 27th. What's up, Jack? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Not as happy as I sound, but I'm living
Oh,
large. I'm not living large, guys.
I tried
Anyway,
that once. That's how you go poor.
oh, it's Roasted Opinion's birthday. We gotta do a song real quick.
Oh, okay.
Roasted Opinion, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday to
birthday to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday, dear Roasted
birthday, dear Roasted
Opinion.
Opinions.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy birthday, sir. Hope you have a good one. Really do. Colleen asked, he's not here right now. He'll listen to it later, but Colleen and Roasted, long time folks with us. So hope he has a really, really happy birthday. If you're new to us and it's your birthday, I hope you have a good one too. Yeah. What the fuck, a live Simeon? Yeah, it happens from time to time. It happens. Is the art style more reminiscent of 2? Yes, it is. It is a very dark game. 3 was a lot more polished and futuristic looking in a lot of places. This one is dark. And it reminds me a lot more of 2 than 3 did. Buddha, thank you so much. Good morning, Monkey. Hope all is well. It's getting better, put it that way.
It's also Bubba Hotep's birthday.
What?
Indeed.
Bubba. For my favorite hobo Jack, we definitely have to sing.
Oh, yeah.
Bubba, this is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy
Happy
birthday to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear Bubba
Hotep.
Hotep.
Happy birthday
Happy birthday to
to
you.
you. Happy birthday, sir. Hope you're well. Hope you're not haunted by any ghosts right now. Me and him play Phasmophobia together over on my game channel. That is twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. For a second there, I forgot it, Jack. Luckily, my brain was like, here you go. You can have it for right now. All right. We got to talk about Donald Trump.
Oh, indeed.
Donald Trump says he expects to be indicted. Before we get to Trump and what he said, I have a little clip from CBS News that we're going to watch that talks about the indictment.
You have that. I have blueberry pie. So ha.
I had what do they call them, guys? They're the Girl Scout cookies that are coconut flavored, and they have the
Gross.
caramel.
Oh, the Samoas.
Is it a Samoa? I thought that's what it is. I didn't want to sound stupid.
I don't know. I'm not above sounding stupid, but I'm pretty
No.
sure those are Samoans.
I am not rich enough to buy Girl Scout cookies, so we have the Walmart brand of the Girl Scout cookies, which taste just like them.
Do they?
They really do, actually.
Oh yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
that Walmart made knockoff Girl Scout cookies.
Oh yeah, I mean, most of the companies that make anything also make like generics for different companies.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, I don't know if you know this, but Keebler's the one who makes Girl Scout cookies for the Girl Scouts. It's not like they actually have the Girl Scouts out there making them. And
lame.
I only know this because I used to run the grocery area, and when Keebler finally got the rights, I don't know how it worked out, but for a long time they weren't allowed to make them. But the Girl Scouts were finally like, yeah, go ahead and fucking make them, and they let them make their own. And I was talking with the representative about it at the time, and yeah, I am so happy. I don't eat them very often, Jack, because they're one of those guilty pleasure things. If you eat too much, it's like I don't want any more of those.
Well, you're diabetic too, so
yeah, that's why I did it, Jack. It was for health reasons, not because I ate so many that I just couldn't eat anymore.
Well, that's how you got diabetes.
Certainly not for that. But yeah, so Lady Monkey went shopping today and picked me up some. I've only ate two of all of them. She bought me like three packages, I think, and I've only ate two today. I think that's good. I think that's pretty good. And I won't eat any more tonight. I'll be good. Well, maybe one more. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But anyway, they're one of those things that you don't want to eat too much. They're just too indulgent. And so I won't eat any more for right now. Coconut is the devil's pubic hair. I feel like that's not true, but
no, that's accurate.
No, I like coconut. I don't know. I don't understand people who don't.
It tastes like shavings off of the devil's nutsack.
I've never licked the devil's nutsack, so I'm not sure. I'll take y'all's words for it, though.
Well, I mean, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Look, 2 cookies are packaged. It's actually 3 packages of cookies is what she bought. Guys, I'm not going to eat them really fast. Those will last me for quite a while.
A good week.
Easily. I don't eat as much sweets as y'all might think. It's just when I do eat them, I tend to indulge.
Overindulge?
Well, maybe a little bit. All right, so let's watch our CBS News explaining exactly what's going on with the Trump indictment that's maybe coming. This is from CB. I don't know who these people are. I just pulled it up. This is from what, a week ago? No. What's today's date? Fuck, I don't know.
Today's the 20th.
Okay, so from 3 days ago. It's not that long ago.
Former President Trump could face criminal charges over his alleged role in a payment of hush money to a...
Do we not have enough Americans that want to be on TV?
Well, British people sound smarter until they get really drunk because they're a bunch of fucking alkies.
I mean, it annoys me. Look, British guy, I don't know who you are. I'm not being mean to you. I don't care about you in general.
I'll
but
be mean to him. He looks like a Ponce.
He kind of does, but I don't know if he is or not. I feel like that could have been a job for an American. Right? I mean, they took our jobs.
Fucking redcoats.
Fuck you, monkey. Went to sleep and Lance died. Can I get an F in chat? Who's Lance? Lance who? Who died, Jack?
I don't know.
And for the record, unless he died this morning, it wasn't me. Because I did not sleep much while I was gone, Jack.
Sleep is for the weak.
But F to Lance. Or F4 Lance. That's different, right? Not F2 Lance, F4 Lance. All right.
Lance Bass, maybe.
Lance Reddick. I don't know who that is, but all right.
Adult film star Stormy Daniels.
Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, testified before a Manhattan grand jury this week in the case.
Can we stop and talk just for a minute that one of their witnesses is Michael Cohen?
I know, right? Lance Reddick. He's the black guy from the John Wick movies.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Good
Good
that
actor.
Sucks. Yeah. He was in a lot of stuff, never as the lead that I remember, but yeah, he was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. He was
Oh,
in
that
that
sucks.
god-awful Resident Evil reboot they did. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Even he couldn't save that.
Although he looked cool as shit in it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, he's cool in everything he was in because he's classy.
Yeah, R.I.P., man. Yeah, he was. I liked him, and he was in a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, actors got to work. Man's got to eat.
Wasn't he even in an episode of Always Sunny?
Probably.
In the one with Frank's brother where the black guy keeps going to jail? Wasn't that him?
Might have been. I don't remember. I haven't seen those in a long, long time.
But yeah, F to him. That's sad, man. But anyway, one of their star witnesses is Michael Cohen, a man who went to jail for lying under oath.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, you can totally trust me this time. And he's got a hard-on to try to get Trump because he blames Trump for what happened.
He blames Trump because he ripped off a bunch of people, and he blames Trump for that. Did he try and extort Nike?
No, that's Avenatti.
Oh, my bad.
No. This is the little fucker that when you see him, the most famous picture I remember of him is him like holding books like they're his best friend.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
Yeah. Little fucking weasel motherfucker. And this is one of their star witnesses. He is the one who actually made the payment to Stormy Daniels.
So?
Well,
what Trump did is it illegal?
They're trying to suggest it is that I believe that it's election something where you're
Aren't they trying to claim that he paid with his like election money?
Yeah, that this is some kind of campaign finance violation. I want to remind you, this is what is it, Alvin Briggs up there in New York, the Manhattan District Attorney, and this is the guy who's like, you know what? We want to make it so people who commit crimes and have guns on them when they do it, they don't really need to go to jail. They don't really need to go to jail. Meanwhile, they are prosecuting, possibly, because this is still in the grand jury. They haven't actually given out indictments yet. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But this is the guy's like, hey, yeah, we got violent crimes with a gun. Nah, we don't need to send them to prison. Who we need to send to prison is this guy who gave this dirty whore a bunch of money so that she wouldn't embarrass him in front of his wife. That's who needs to go to prison. That is what's happening here. Do you guys understand that?
Now, I don't know why people are shocked. First of all, Trump has a history of philandering, but rich guys cheat all the time. It's a thing they do. If you're rich and powerful, your wife expects you to go out, but there's rules. Don't bring home any diseases and no babies.
Yep.
I don't understand why this is like they're crying moral outrage. Like the people that want to butcher children's genitals are screaming moral outrage. It's boggling to me. Like you're upset some dude stepped out on his wife and paid hush money? Fuck off.
Well, they've tried so many ways to get him, and this is the one that we think we finally got him. Anyway, let's watch these idiots. Remember, Michael fucking Cohen, who, by the way, is a douchebag. I don't know if we mentioned that as we were talking yet, but he is a douchebag.
Former president faces a number of other investigations, including the Justice Department's inquiry into his handling of classified documents and his actions on January 6th.
You know who's not facing a possible indictment over documents? The president, Joe Biden.
And his son and his brother.
Yeah.
And his daughter-in-law.
All right, let's talk about these. This is the one that we're looking at a possible arrest coming in. The Manhattan DA for the hush money. This is to tell that dirty bitch, hey, please don't go tell the world that I put my wiener in your nasty snatch. The Justice Department, Capitol Hill one. You can't prove anything that Donald Trump actually did to make that riot happen. Sorry, you just can't. There's nothing there. And looking at like the January 6th committee, there were texts as it was going on. So even if Trump could have stood back and gone, you know what, I'm actually happy this is happening. Unless you can point to him making it happen, that he actually made it happen, when he said, go out there and be peaceful, you have nothing. You have nothing. The classified documents, nonsense. Classified documents have been an issue for most presidents, and they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They've never given a shit until Trump. Remember with Hillary Clinton? Classified documents showed up on Anthony Weiner's computer. That was Hillary Clinton's lesbian lover's husband, who, by the way, had criminal convictions at that time for showing his dick to children.
He really likes showing his dick to kids, it seems.
And you know what they did about that, Jack?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Well,
Not a fucking thing.
Look, he's one of the good, sophisticated people who are trying to save the world, not an evil monster like Trump.
And then the Fulton County District Attorney for the election fraud. This is looking into that call from Trump to what's his name? Kemp? Fuck, I forget. Georgia's governor.
Yeah, Kemp.
And the AG down there, I think it is. And he's like, we need to find 9,000 more votes or something like that. And if you listen to it the way that the news promoted it, it sounds like he's trying to commit election fraud. If you listen to the entire thing, he's just saying, we need to count all the votes. That's what he was saying. But anyway, those are the four that they have on the screen there. By the way, yes, we are only 20 seconds into this fucking video. How long are we into the show? Probably 10 minutes on just this 20 seconds of video, Jack. I can make things happen.
We're improving.
Nobody can ever accuse me of not actually commenting on the shit we watch.
True.
All right.
CBS News Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett joins us now there from our Washington bureau.
Why'd your parents hate you so much that they named you Major? I kind of wish he would have gone into the army and actually achieved the rank of major, because that would have been funny.
Then he'd be Major?
Yeah.
Nah, he would have been like a private major.
That could have been it too. Private Major actually is kind of an interesting name too. I'm just thinking of like airplane. Roger.
Major, how is the...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Is it Sergeant Major a thing?
Sergeant Major is a thing, yeah.
Oh, see, he could have just achieved that and quit.
He could have been Sergeant Major and actually been, because a Sergeant Major is over a sergeant.
Do you think his middle name is General? Because he's a Major General.
It might be. I just don't know why the hell his parents hated him enough to name him Major.
I've met a couple people named Major, and they're weird because their name's Major. Yeah, it's not that uncommon of a name. It's uncommon, but it's not out there,
I feel like it is. It's not as out there as Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah, if your name is Wolf Blitzer, you should absolutely be a Viking, not some squirrely little dude with a giant head in a newsroom.
Yeah, I don't know what he looked like as a baby, but as a full-grown adult, he definitely doesn't look like a wolf.
No, or a blitzer. He looks like an early finisher, but not in the like cool blitzing kind of way.
Right.
The Trump team really preparing for a potential indictment now in this hush money investigation?
So one of the things that the Trump legal team, at least in the context of this potential Manhattan indictment, is saying is bring it on. There is a sense within the Trump team that they would like this to be the first charge.
For the record, one of the people who wants this brought on, according to reports, and we'll get to this in a little bit, is Trump himself. He thinks this is going to help him. And it might. I have no idea. I think it would help him because I don't think they're actually going to be able to prove any criminal issue.
Well, they're going to have a hard time getting past the statute of limitations.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing this. I just don't feel like they have a good case because
I don't think they do. But if they arrest him, his approval rating is going to skyrocket.
Well, reportedly, his approval rating went down from Saturday to Sunday. I'm like, okay, that's a minor issue. We are so far away from the election that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but if he gets arrested, and especially if they cuff him, because they want to frog march him out like a bunch of babies. If they do that, he will run that in every single ad.
Yes.
They tried to arrest me because they're trying to destroy America. I represent freedom, blah, blah, blah. There could be 1,000 commercials for him. And he's pretty well got a lock on it, I think, if they do cuff him and walk him out.
They believe it's one that they can argue is either politically motivated.
It's absolutely politically motivated.
Yeah.
They can argue. Are you kidding? I just want to remind you, Alvin Braggs, whatever his name is, when he comes into office, one of the first things he does is say, we need to make people who are committing crimes and have guns in their possession, which is a federal felony, while they're doing it, fuck it, we're just going to let them go. But this is what they're spending time on. Yep. We talked about that when it happened, Jack, when he comes out and says that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow.
Doesn't cut a lot of ice in a courtroom, but it can with the potential impanelment of a jury. They're also saying that, look, there was an indictment and a plea deal for Michael Cohen.
Yep.
And the Southern District of New York, the U.S. Attorney's Office, empowered there, never indicted former President Trump after he left office for a crime implicated by that plea deal from Michael Cohen. So
which, again, was nonsense. That one shouldn't even have been going on. And Cohen would have been fine if he didn't fucking lie like a dumbass. He wouldn't have served any time, Jack, but he's a fucking liar. Because he's like the guy on Better Call Saul and from, what was that, Breaking Bad that spinned off from? Did I say spinned off?
Yes, you did. I was going to let it slide, though.
I can't let that slide. That's retarded.
Trump lawyer, if it wasn't a crime then, is decided by the Southern District of New York, why is it a crime for the Manhattan District Attorney? The district attorney is going to have to answer that, not only in court, but before a jury if he brings the charge.
Not only in court, but in front of a jury. Aren't those like the same? Where else is he going to be in front of a jury?
I don't know. Maybe you pay for that at a dominatrix shop. Like, I'd like to be judged by a panel of my sexy peers.
Yeah, there you go. Rodline asks, how could he ever get a fair jury? He can't. There's no way.
No fucking way. That's the problem with arresting political leaders in a system like ours where you're supposed to get a fair trial. It's almost impossible if you're the president.
Yeah.
The divisiveness. What are you going to do? Get a bunch of illegals on there? And be like, I don't know who that is.
I mean, I guess you could get some dumb people who don't pay attention to politics, but even most of them have an opinion on Trump.
Yeah.
When it comes to Trump is very well known, and people are either with him or against him in most cases.
Yeah, and look, you're going to have trouble getting a jury that's impartial. You're going to have to get past the 2-year-old expired statute of limitations. They're going to want to throw the book at him and go hard on him, but I don't think that's going to work. And one of his lawyers is part of the case. You're going to have to get by attorney-client privilege. There's a lot of obstacles here that I don't know why they're wasting their time on this. There's no way they're going to get this through. Even if he gets convicted, he might end up being the president again.
And if I remember correctly, this is like a very small issue when it comes criminally.
Yeah. Well, it's a nonsense thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is okay. You get if he gets convicted, probation.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Yeah, I'm gonna be at the White House.
he paid off a whore. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, a porn star.
Oh yeah, a whore that gets filmed. Don't try and dress it up. We all know what they are.
I know.
They're slightly classier.
They get paid to have sex.
Yeah,
that's a prostitute.
the only person that's really benefiting from this is Stormy Daniels, because she could write another book or something. She's been in the press a lot lately.
She probably should write another book, considering Avenatti took most of the money from the first one.
Yeah.
The other thing the Trump legal team will say is, are you really going to indict a former president of the United States on what amounts to a misdemeanor? Yep. A misdemeanor under New York code is false filing of business records. It's not the hush money payment. It's what it was called in a business record context.
And that literally what it boils down to. It's a misdemeanor.
Yeah. Well, so was trespassing, and look what QAnon shaman got.
Fair enough.
And the Trump legal team will say, is that
good?
No, look, Frost had said we're going to need fence sitters to call Tim Pool.
Yeah,
Tim Pool on the jury. It's just him.
Get Boogie. I'm sure we could find 12 fence sitters on YouTube.
Oh God, do we want those people on a jury though?
Yes, I absolutely do, and I want it filmed when they're in the deliberation room.
Yeah, if they're televising that shit, oh my God, can you imagine the negotiations at the table? Like, I don't know, man. I kind of want him to be guilty on this one, but I don't know.
Right?
They would call it after like 4 weeks, be like, look, you're deadlocked, all right? We're just moving on.
All right. Yeah, can you call it deadlocked when they're fence sitting?
Yes, because they're dumb.
Because they're arguing with themselves, not each other. Anyway, all right.
That's serious enough. Are you really going to indict a former president of the United States on a misdemeanor?
Yes, they are.
Yes, there is some talk that Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney, could add another secondary charge of an election violation under New York law. That would make it a felony. The Trump legal team believes.
Yeah, good luck with that. You have to prove that it came from his campaign coffers. And as far as I know, Jack, there's no paper trail there.
Yeah. No, this whole thing is just a show because they hate Trump so much. They will blindly go after him like this.
Yeah.
I think this is a really dumb political move. It's going to make Trump more popular. It's the Obi-Wan Kenobi effect. You try and strike him down, he gets stronger.
On the Trump charges, the U.S. SEC versus Gary Hart. Did Gary Hart actually get indicted for anything? I didn't realize.
I don't remember. That was a long time ago.
For those who don't know, Gary Hart, he was a very popular presidential candidate until it came out that he'd been boinking some. What was her name? She was one of the
Jessica
Hahn.
Yeah, Jessica Hahn.
You know what I love about, if you go back to that time period, all of those chicks who were in those weird relationships like that ended up on like Married with Children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Believes it can argue that one as well. Essentially, in this case and this case only, the Trump legal team is saying, go ahead, proceed. We don't relish an indictment, but we'll challenge one on as many fronts as we can. That is not.
As somebody said earlier, you're going to make him a martyr. I thought Jessica Hahn was a preacher. Is she the one that was with Jim Baker? There's so many at that time. I mean, all these fucking people. I thought, yeah. Anyhow,
the hoes all run together. I don't know.
There were so many at that time. I can't remember all their names. All right.
Not the Trump legal team's attitude about a charge that could come out of Fulton County, Georgia, or from the special counsel looking into the former president's handling of classified documents or his actions leading up to and on January 6th.
Yeah, the problem with that is you're going to have to explain why you're prosecuting him and not other people. And in the Fulton County case, good fucking luck. Good luck doing that one, because you don't have anything. Donna Rice, was that who it was? Okay. You don't have anything down there. And we've talked about this. I know that the news has lied to people. Shocking. And unfortunately, Jack, there's not going to be any end to this as long as Trump is running for president.
Yeah.
As long as
even
he's
after that, I think he's going to have a target till he dies.
Sure. Well, I think if he gets elected, goes another 4 years, you'll see these things kind of fade away because they're doing this for political reasons. They're doing this to try to keep him from being able to run for president. And they might be able to do it. But with the evidence and stuff that they have right now, I just don't see it.
I don't either. Real quick, thank you, Tim Pool's fence post. Please chop me. I've seen the inside of his colon.
Oh.
Thanks for that haunting imagery, Tim Pool's fence post.
Yeah, I imagine it's brown, but did it start that way?
It has a beanie on it.
Now somebody needs to make that as a nice little meme.
It's gonna be somebody with their ass cheeks spread, and instead of a butthole, there's a beanie there.
Yes, indeed.
Do not send that to me, you guys. I will block you.
All right, Jack. Let's see what Trumpity Trump had to say about this. Trump says he expects to be arrested Tuesday as New York law enforcement prepares for possible indictment. It took 3 people, all women's. I'm not saying anything about the women's because I've seen this with 5 men before. But these 3 young ladies, all right, that one looks kind of old, wrote this story. Why does it take so many people at CNN to write a single story? Why are they so bad at their jobs? And half the time get it wrong anyway.
Well, look, Monkey. Literacy and writing, those are very colonialist notions.
Just nonsense. Former President Donald Trump said Saturday he expects to be arrested in connection with the years-long investigation into hush money scheme involving adult film. Hush money scheme. That's how they've been promoting this in all of the news. How do you get a fair trial, even if it wasn't Trump, when every time it's mentioned, they call it hush money? That has negative connotations to it.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, I think that's actually used incorrectly because hush is what you say to a child. Hush now. When you're talking to a hooker, you say shush.
Oh, shush
so
money, yeah.
Shush money.
Money scheme involving adult film actress Stormy Daniels, prostitute, and called on his supporters to protest any such move. In a social media post, I love that they say that. They will never say where he's posting.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
They don't want to get traffic to Truth.
Yeah. He's been posting over at Truth Social, guys. It's not like he's on Twitter. He did get allowed back on Twitter, but as far as I know, he hasn't posted since.
No, he just posted on Facebook for the first time the other day.
And they let him back in because they said that it's going to be the presidential run, so he's allowed. We'll bring him back for that. He was the president when you took him off, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But anyway, in a social media post on Truth Social, Trump, referring to himself, said the leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States will be arrested on Tuesday of next week, though he did not say why he expects to be arrested. His team said after Trump's post that it had not received any notification from prosecutors. All right, we need to pause right there. I understand them going, yeah, we actually didn't get any. Him coming out and saying, I expect to be arrested on Tuesday. Typically, you only hear about that when somebody's been told by a prosecutor, hey, the indictment's coming down.
One of the cops could have tipped him off.
It's possible.
Because usually the prosecutors don't notify you when they're going to arrest you because then you might run.
Well, with big name people that they don't expect to run, I mean, we've seen it before. Like we're going to bring down this indictment on Friday.
Look what they did to Roger Stone, though. Raided his house in the middle of the night.
And I could see them trying to do that here.
Yeah.
Just to try to embarrass him and arrest him in the middle of the night at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, in his underwear and walk him out in his tidy whities or something.
Yeah, instead of just letting him turn himself in, which is what he would do. And in fairness, if they arrested him and pulled that kind of shit, you are pretty much, I don't want to say guaranteeing that he's going to be reelected, but guaranteeing that those poll numbers are going to shoot way to fuck up.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I think they want that. Well, they don't want his poll numbers to go up. They want people to protest so they can frame him for a bunch of other stuff. You know, so they could pull another January 6th because that's old hat now. They need a new one.
And don't forget, we had the Tucker thing that come out and put a big bump in their January 6th story.
Yep.
This is Kyle. Thank you so much. Hello, chat people, Monkey and Jack. Glad to have you back, Monkey. I'm glad to be back. Here's a double feminist donation, half to Jack. Thank you for that double feminist donation. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kyle.
It's a good time to remind people we're brought to you by you. Hit that like button, hit the share button if you can. Please donate to Jack or myself. The link is at the top of your YouTube chat. It's also in the description of both chats or both videos. And Nuts has put it in the YouTube chat repeatedly. Thank you so much, sweetheart. CNN's John Miller reported Friday that meetings have been going on throughout the week among city, state, and federal law enforcement agencies in New York City about security preparations for a possible Trump indictment. In an echo of Trump's appeal to supporters in the wake of the 2020 presidential election, he called Saturday for action, writing, "Protest, take our nation back." Do you think anybody's going to be going out into the streets and protesting this?
Yeah, I think they will. It won't be like they are the Dems are hoping, but I think there will be some people protesting.
Most that you'll see of protesting is maybe a little bit of protest outside of the Manhattan court building.
Yeah, and some people go down to Mar-a-Lago, and then you'll have Antifa and BLM and a couple of the other lefty groups and the feds out there trying to start trouble everywhere else.
That's possible. It's possible. The doohickey on YouTube isn't showing that you're live. Susan with testicles doesn't like you two either.
Sounds
Fair enough,
right.
Spud. Look, I've been on Jack's show with him, and it doesn't show that it's live to me.
Yeah.
YouTube is just like that sometimes. The former president has been agitating for his team to get agitating, Jack.
Yeah, agitating. He's a rabble rouser.
I love these things where instead of, he's been encouraging his team. No, we can't use the word encouraging with Trump. It's got to be agitating. Agitating for his team to get his base riled up and believes that an indictment would help him politically. Multiple people briefed on the matter told CNN. Trump doesn't need his team to do shit. He can talk to his base. Trump has always been his best PR.
Yeah.
He doesn't need other people to do it for him. Any indictment of the former president who is running for re-election in 2024 would mark a historic first and quickly change the political conversation around an already divisive figure. While Trump has an extensive history of civil litigation both before and after taking office, a criminal charge would represent a of his legal woes as he works to recapture the White House. I will throw that,
like it's capture the flag.
Right? I will throw that article into chat if you guys want to read it. It goes on to talk about the case, goes on to talk about a lot of different stuff, I guess. Maybe they needed 3 people to write it because there's a whole lot of junk in there that doesn't need to be, Jack.
Oh, shocker.
Yeah. But anyway, there you go, guys. Donald Trump expects to be arrested on Tuesday. I doubt he'll be held or anything. It'll just be, okay, you got to pay some bail and he'll be out immediately. We're not talking about somebody who's murdered somebody.
Oh, no, he murdered the country. He murdered democracy. They're going to do everything they can to make him stay in jail or get anything they can to make him look bad. These people are zealots, Monkey. They're not that smart.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm surprised we didn't get worse news considering you napped. I mean, I did not really sleep much until today. So How many days did I miss, Jack? Was it 2 or 3?
3, I think.
It felt wrong. It feels wrong not to do a show.
Right? Like, hey, man, my fridge is empty, so we had to do a show tonight.
Guys, donate to Jack. His fridge is empty.
I seriously have like sauces left.
Sauces. Damn.
Yeah, I have like some buffalo dip, and I don't even have like mayo. I ran out of that, and so I used the last of my Parmesan cheese on my spaghetti earlier. Fucking
guys, I wish I had one of those tickers that people have. I put up there a little donation thing. Give Jack $100.
No, nobody's gonna do that.
It doesn't have to be all one person, just together. Everybody, donate to Jack. All right. Anyway, Jack, I want to watch a video from your timeline.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you had a couple actually that I want to watch. The one with the teacher.
Oh yeah.
And the one with Jazz. Is it Jazz Jennings? Is that the name?
Yep.
The one with Jazz's mom.
God, that was sickening.
Which one should we do first?
I don't think it matters. They're both pretty horrible.
Let's do the Jazz one first, because that's the top. It's higher up on your timeline. Guys, if you're not following us on Twitter, both of us are funny and post shit that you guys should see over there.
Yeah, it's hard being awesome.
Along with our donation and Patreons and our Teesprings and your books, there's other stuff down there that you guys should be checking out. All right. God, this pissed me off. This is disgusting.
Yes, it is.
Hang on. We got to get it started so I can make it big. There we go. Sound check here, Jack.
With her?
That's fine.
Okay. It's kind of weird sounding because there's an echo in the background. They didn't have the best audio on this thing.
Well, somebody's filming their TV.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't that chick look like a dude?
Kind of, which would explain a lot about Jazz.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't know that was their mom. I only know it's their mom because of the way they were talking in this video. This is Jazz Jennings, the very famous trans child who now is a fat woman.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so
I believe they're called Holsteins.
All right, here we go.
But with her, I'm worried about like her mental well-being.
A little late for that, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Now you're worried about the mental well-being.
The Gays Against Groomers has been calling this Trandhausen by proxy.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, that is perfect because it is Munchausen by proxy, except like, oh, my kid is trans, so I should get some accolades.
Will you talk for just a minute?
Yeah, this sort of thing happened. One of my friends' wives would do this with their autistic kid. And by autistic, they meant he doesn't like other people because he talks fine. I've interacted with the kid. I'm like, if he's autistic, I'm pretty sure every nerd is autistic, and they're not all autistic. He's just socially awkward and doesn't like other people. But it's she went and got the tattoo of the autism speaks and all this, so that look how wonderful I am. Look at me, I'm a caring parent. You don't know what it's like to have my problems. Fuck off.
You know, with the autism thing, there are a ton of parents like that, where the kid can be perfectly normal, but mom is just, it's autism. And the shirts, they love that shirt. They probably even have "my kid is autistic" baseball caps.
Oh yeah. You know what they could get is fucking Legos, because at least the kids can play with those.
Right?
Real quick. Thank you, Lesser Logic, for the generous donation. He says, grocery fund, enjoy. Thanks, I will. That's like a couple cases of ramen. And thank you, Retro V Gamer, for the incredibly generous donation. It says, food for Jack. Thank you. I am starving. I didn't realize how empty my cupboards were until I went to like make food. I'm like, oh, spaghetti. Do I have anything else? No, and it turned out most of that spaghetti wasn't any good.
Oh, all right.
So it was a bad day in the Jack household for food, but that's neither here nor there. Thank you guys so much for that.
All right, here we go. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen to play it. Whoops. Did I mention we need a producer? I haven't said that yet tonight, have I? All right, here we go. You know what we need? We actually need a really cool studio that we both work in, and we can actually see each other, and a producer, preferably a hot Asian with a nice ass.
Yes, that I could have sex with.
Yeah, with loose morals. Not look. I don't want to touch her. I just want to look.
I'll do all the touching for you. It's fine.
Yeah, and tell me about it because I have to live vicariously.
Yeah,
but if you guys know a nice Asian with a big old ass, and it's got not Kim Kardashian, because I do not understand why people. No, her ass looks horrible. That is not a nice ass.
No, that's gross. I don't know why people find her attractive. That woman's disgusting.
They find her attractive because they were told to. All right.
Oh, real quick. Thank you, Frank. Definitely Muchas by proxy. They claim she knew at 2 years old, a.k.a. mom wanted a daughter or another daughter. Yep.
It's exactly what happened. All right. So she's worried about the mental health of Jazz.
And her dilation.
Yeah, she said dilation.
For those of you who don't know, people who have their wieners cut off and a vagina built have to dilate it if it's not being used. If it's not being humped on a regular basis, Jack, you have to shove what is called a dilator up in there to keep it from closing up, because your body sees it as an open wound. Exactly, Assassin. That's how your body sees it. So if you don't dilate it on a fairly regular basis, when it first happens, Jack, it has to be I can't remember if it's daily or every other day or something like that. And then it does get up to a point where it's like weekly or monthly. But it has to be done. So they're worried about the mental health and whether or not she's going to be dilating.
She leaves my house. We have a dilation problem.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
I have
like having a penis. That old pattern? Probably not what they meant.
Probably not.
woken Jazz out of a dead sleep and taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, "Here, you take this and you put it in your vagina. If not, I will."
What?
What now?
You've woken your child up with a lubed up dildo, basically, and said, either put it in yourself or I'm going to do it.
That's not going to cause a lot of it. Like, if you thought that kid had issues before, imagine getting woken up out of a dead sleep and your mom's like, "Put this inside you, or mommy will."
And you said this on television.
Mommy needs to see you do this. It's not for her gratification.
And the producers thought, you know what? This is a pretty good thing to include in the show.
You know what? I would have included it too. Be like, people need to know how crazy this bitch is.
Look, I would have included it for that reason, but you got to remember, this is a show that's supposed to make, the life of Jazz. Look how great it is.
Oh, these people are fucking sick.
And by the way, she didn't say put this in your vagina. She said put this in your virgina. She's one of those. Look, I have said that before. There's certain regions of the country where you just pick up vagina instead of vagina.
What the hell's a virgina?
It's what she's going to rape in her child, apparently.
I guess.
Anyway.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
I have woken Jazz out of a dead sleep and taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, "Here, you take this and you put it in your vagina. If not, I will." But Jazz is back.
I'm thinking of nominating her for Mother of the Year.
I don't think that's
when you care so much about your daughter that you're willing to rape her with a dilator. That's a good mom.
Is that what that is?
Bad, even when I'm home once a day. I will be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up. I will wring her neck. Can you imagine? No, I can't imagine.
That thing seals up. That you mean her vagina? Or is it a thing now? I don't understand the rules anymore.
There's nothing about that video that's not disturbing to me.
I know. These people are disgusting.
It puts the dildo in the hole or else it gets to close again. Yeah. That's
no more wire hangers.
Oh, I saw that, Jack, and I was so disgusted. I understand. Okay, I want to say from the mom's point of view, I do understand. You don't want that to close up. You want your child, if they've gone through this, to, keep it open so she doesn't have to go back through surgery, right? But maybe sexual assault isn't the way to do it. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's never a good way to do that.
I've had to remind my children, hey, you need to go take your medicine. I can't imagine having a conversation with my child like, hey, you need to go fuck yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there's probably times you wanted to tell your kids that, but
metaphorically, not where the kid goes, oh yeah, all right, I'll go take care of that right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you could look at your daughter and say, have you washed your dildo lately? It seems like that would be something that normal parents would be incredibly uncomfortable with. Like, are you using your dilator? I will wake you up and put it in you.
Because she doesn't say, I've wanted to do this. She said, I've done this.
Yeah. Yeah, she watches her kid put that in. That is some weird... that borders on, like, child sexual abuse, I think.
I mean, if the kid truly wanted it, wouldn't they maintain it? Look, everybody gets into habits that they, has bad habits where they don't take care of themselves the way they're supposed to. I would think with the vagina they'd want to, but all of this is child sexual abuse. I agree with you.
Yeah, I do too. But
and
even
for the
in
record,
today's world, like the mom watching the kid put it in or forcing her to put it, that's...
Don't forget, Jazz did have her surgery when she was 17. She was still a child.
Now she's a fat adult. I mean...
It's... what's happened with that child is fucking horrific. And the fact that she's been celebrated for what's gone on to her is really fucking horrific.
Yeah.
But her mommy sexually assaults her if she doesn't take care of her vagina. And nobody's arrested that woman yet.
I know, right?
I really do feel like they should probably be arrested. All right, on to our other video. This one's a little more... how do I want to say this? It's annoying throughout, but it's not until the end that I'm really annoyed with this person. So maybe we'll make it through faster than normal, Jack.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Spudgun, thank you. Have to Jack, please. I don't want him dipping spaghetti in mayo or buffalo dip. And Jazz is going to join the 41s, getting close to the 10-year point. I sincerely hope not. But I honestly, would I be surprised? No, not really. It's not child abuse, is it? I mean, yeah. But at this point, she isn't a child anymore. So it's just flat out sexual assault. What she talked about, what she described there is sexual assault.
Thank you, Spudgun. And yeah, I did put some buffalo dip on my spaghetti.
Yeah, thank you, Spud. Thank you so much. All right.
It wasn't that good, by the way.
I
Sounds
would
better
imagine
on
not.
paper.
One of the things we make sure we always have is spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, I thought I had some too, but it expired apparently 2 years ago.
I was asking about the next. Oh no, the next video. I mean, not really child abuse. We'll get to it. What was that? Oh, with spaghetti, we use spaghetti sauce on a lot of things. Spaghetti, lasagna. We had stuffed shells the other day. Ravioli. So we use a lot of the shit. So we always have it on hand. Right. I don't know what to say to introduce this other than it involves a bill I haven't read yet and a teacher from Florida discussing it. So take what they say with a grain of salt. All right, here we go.
It's me back with an angry teacher.
Okay, I cannot turn this up anymore. I guess I'll just try to lower my voice so people can turn up their sound. But anyhow.
Rant again. So I just heard about the expansion that Florida is trying to do on the Don't Say Gay bill. I teach in Florida, by the way. And so basically, what this expansion would do is right now, the Don't Say Gay bill affects K through third grade.
Not true. The Don't Say Gay bill affects all kids in Florida schools. It's K through third grade where you're not allowed to be talking to them about this kind of stuff. And then after that, it's age appropriate. So technically, Jack, what they just said is wrong, which doesn't surprise me because this is a Florida teacher.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, teachers are fucking retards these days. And of course they got it wrong because they're politically driven and they only check political websites that agree with them.
Or, yeah, and they get their information from the teachers' unions who are so very biased. Anyhow, they really do want to talk to kids about gay sex, man. I just don't understand. I really don't. What kind of conversation do you need to have with a 5-year-old about your sexuality?
Oh, I think you know what kind of conversations they want to have with children. Fucking degenerates. This whole thing disgusts me. Like, the obsession with talking to kids about sexual or sex or sexuality is bizarre to me. Why do you need to talk to a kindergarten to third grader about this, you weirdo freak? And then apparently the add-on legislation, I glanced at it, was something about you can't do that through 8th grade, and there's some other addendums that I didn't really look into because I got bored.
BG says it's about their dating pool. I know, unfortunately. We've talked about that before. I really don't like these people, and I really don't think they should be around kids.
I agree.
So you can't talk about gender or gender expression or pronouns or anything like that in kindergarten through third grade.
Why do you need to?
Because they have to perpetuate their weird death cult
and
their genital mutilation cult.
It's not that you can't talk to third graders about pronouns. It's just that you have to teach them actual English.
Yeah,
he,
not your
she,
fake pronouns.
I, me. That's a boy, so it's he. That's a she. Yeah. And I love how they always phrase this, because we also saw the one guy. I can't mention that me and my husband had gone kayaking. Why would you? But again, why are you framing it like that? Like that's how you discuss it with a kindergartner. Like the kindergartner gives a fuck that you and your husband went kayaking. You shouldn't be telling personal stories to students in the first fucking place.
Yeah, they're not there to hear about your weekend. That's what friends are for. These are not your friends. These are not your children. These are children you're supposed to be educating. You get up there, you talk about the material that you're supposed to cover, and that's it. If they have any questions about your personal life, you're supposed to say things like, we're not talking about that. It's none of your business. Let's focus on what we're doing.
Yeah. But now they want to be their friend.
My friends. I got widow friends.
You guys need to get real friends. We've
That
noticed
are 18 or above.
Yeah, we have two kinds of people, I think, when we watch these things. We have the ones who weren't popular in school. These are usually your middle and high school teachers. They weren't popular in school, but now they have all eyes on them. And then the other one that you have is they have no friends and now they do. And that's usually the younger ones, the kindergartner through middle school, that there's a little overlap between the two. Neither of them are good for us.
Yeah. I think Sean nailed it. With friends like this, who needs child molesters?
Amen.
Expansion would take it from kindergarten to 8th grade.
8th grade being about 13 years, for those of you who don't know. Again, you probably shouldn't be discussing your sex life with them ever. These are not conversations that are appropriate in school. And we're not talking about a sex ed class, Jack. And, get to 11, 12, 13, puberty's coming, sex ed class. I don't have a problem with that. The problem is, and this is going to come up in a minute, the problem is these are teachers who are doing it in English class. They're doing it in science class, math class. Instead of teaching them, the different kinds of clouds or how to do long division, they're like, we need to talk about pronouns and how we're all special little snowflakes.
You mean we're not special snowflakes?
No, most of us are not special snowflakes.
Aw. It's almost like the world is harsh and bitter, and you should learn as much as you can while you're young.
Also, would prohibit teachers from being able to refer to anyone. I think they specifically mean students, but what I read was anyone by preferred pronouns, which
hang on,
is damaging.
It's damaging, Jack.
If you're not there and I'm talking about you, how are you damaged?
It's damaging.
Damaging my fifis.
Because one, depending on the verbiage of the bill, which I just looked into because I didn't know it was a thing until like 30 minutes ago.
And obviously you didn't retain any of it because you just told us you didn't. It depends on the verbiage. Well, you read it, right? When you think, Jack, if they read the verbiage, this is a teacher, y'all.
Would mean that I would have to be Miss my name instead of Mr.
Jack,
Monkey.
Are Miss and Mr. pronouns?
They are, but I bet this individual goes by Mix.
Aren't they titles?
Look, your facts don't matter here. They said it's their pronoun is Mr. So, yeah, now they have to change it. I don't know. These people make no goddamn sense. Titles, pronouns, they don't know the difference.
They said I can't use the pronoun, so I have to be called Mr. now.
I just assumed he meant his pronouns were Miss.
I was wondering what was with that little puberty beard they were rocking.
Yeah.
And then this part made it, okay, I get it. You're on testosterone and have a vagina. A virgina.
Yeah, a virgina.
Got one of them virginas.
Oh, thank you, Frosted Glass. Damaging. Oh, so that's why Suicide Squad Joker had that forehead tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Somebody misgendered him. Thanks, Frosted.
Which I hate that, but also
notice how that just kind of goes. I hate that. Oh, this is about you, not the kids.
Yes,
and
this person doesn't give a fuck about the kids. What are you talking about?
But they don't really seem to care about Miss and Mr. either. I hate that. I hate that. You know what I mean? that it's so dismissive. It doesn't seem like they actually care. It's just something. I hate that.
Well, they don't care.
You know, when they
Stop
bring
pretending
you
these
your
people give a shit.
they bring you your plate and there's some parsley on there. Nobody eats. I hate that. You know what I mean? Anyway,
I hate that.
I hate that.
Should be a vocal fry in there that we're missing.
Kids who are already on HRT or who are on hormone blockers and are passing as far as their peers are concerned would be outed.
Why are children on these again? I thought they keep saying that children aren't having these.
I have a question for you, Jack.
Uh-oh.
When do you use pronouns?
When you're talking about somebody and they're not there.
How are you going to be outing them unless you're talking to other students about other students? I mean, there's times, I guess, that it comes up like, hey, go help her out.
Well, why would these students be on like chemical treatments anyway?
Because it's life-saving.
Is that we're still on that?
Yeah, it's life-saving affirmative care.
Sure it is.
All right, puberty. This is a woman. I mean, biological woman. Kind of looks like they could have played linebacker in college.
They were on the softball team, damn it.
Really good at that women's golf. All right.
Not to mention.
Oh, bring it up.
Florida's doing this whole mental health thing. Where basically, a few times a quarter, we lose a chunk of the day to do a mental health lesson.
All right. You're already upset that you can't have sexual conversations with third graders. Aren't you doing that during the day? Isn't that losing a chunk of the day? When you're having the conversation, and we've watched some of this, when they take kindergartners and they sit them around in a little circle and they got a puppet and they're teaching them that puppets can be non-binary, you know, because they're fucking puppets. Isn't that a chunk out of the day?
Yeah, but that's the type of the teaching they want to do. Not this like wasting time on math and English.
Guys, we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, the share button. If you would, please donate to Jack and myself. Links at the top of your YouTube chat. It is in the description of both videos. You can donate later if you're listening to this offline or when we're not live. And thank you to everybody who's done so. You guys are fucking awesome. All right.
Indeed.
Back to weirdo.
Which I put quotes around because it's not taught by a mental health professional. It is.
Time out. Got to do it again. When all of you teachers are sitting around teaching kids about sexuality, are you a sexuality expert? Are you a doctor? Jack, do you think these teachers are doctors?
No.
But it's okay for them. It's what you just said. As long as it's what they want to do, it's fine. But now, hey, mental health thing, we're not experts on that. But you're okay to be given basically medical advice to children. Why is that okay? By the way, when you have those conversations, you're also discussing, what is it? Fucking psychology, you fucking retard.
You know, Jack, we don't want to do it the way they do it.
Every time I think to myself, I really need to stop swearing on the show, or at least cut it way back. It just gets worse because we pay attention to the world.
I know. I've tried many times to stop swearing. It doesn't take. It's just so much stupid bullshit going on. You can't help but use some swear words because that's the only way you can get the emphasis of how dumb it is.
Taught by a teacher. If you have a class during the period that the mental health lessons are happening in, you have to do it.
And my guess would be, Jack, I haven't read about this in Florida, but my guess would be that they don't just go, all right, look, you need to have a mental health discussion with your students today. Good luck. My guess would be there's reading material that you have to go over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's always packets that come out for that crap.
Yeah, they're not just going to go, okay, you're on your own. Good luck.
No, they don't just throw you to the wolves. There's stuff. There's like usually a video, and then you got to read a little pamphlet and talk about like suicide and prevention and all that shit with the older kids. Little kids, I don't know what age group this person's talking about because it sounds like these are real little kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I suspect this is one of those like what to do when you're feeling sad activities. Yeah. And you get to do those every so often through the year. But
there's probably one on anger. There's probably one on sadness. Yeah.
Why it's not okay to hit people.
Yeah.
It's problematic for a number of reasons. We don't have the training for this. But
you don't have the training for the sexual talks you want to have with them, you dumb fuck.
We're trying to do these mental health lessons to help kids feel less alone, to help them feel more seen. And
I have a problem with what you just said. I doubt there's a mental health packet that comes to you that says, help kids seem more seen.
I need to be more seen. No, you don't, weirdo.
Jack, we've actually become the world of Tumblr.
Oh, yeah.
Tumblr has taken over the world. Or at least Western society.
All of them have graduated and have jobs now and perpetuated. Now they're on TikTok and doing weird, dumb shit like that. But they're out in the workforce.
Teaching your children, running for Congress. Yeah, they're all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
God, I hate this shit. All right, we're almost done with Dummy. Now, here comes the part that really pissed me off, so I will do my best to let it play.
Give them more resources, but we're going to misgender them and dead name them and out them.
Yes. You're actually going to call the child by their fucking name, you retard.
Yeah, their legal name. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God, we're gonna call them by their name. Yes. There you go. I don't know why that's so bothering to you.
You know what has actually surprised me about my general nerddom is that in comics, nobody that's been outed for their secret identity has said you're dead naming me.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be one.
I identify as Superman. You have to address me as such.
And for the record, Mr. Weirdo, chances are, in most cases, Jack, kids go to school in the same school district their whole life.
Yeah.
Chances are that they know Susie used to be Johnny.
Yeah. It's not like it's a newsflash.
And tell their parents that they're thinking about the fact that they might be queer at a time in their life when they're supposed to be exploring themselves and who they are.
Exploring themselves. That's an interesting choice of words.
Yeah. I was reminded of Chef saying, there's a time and a place for everything, and it's called college.
Yep.
This is just kind of weird.
A little bit.
You know what? I think Dead Name would be a great name for a comic book character.
It would, wouldn't it?
That's going to kill kids.
What?
Sounds like a threat.
See, there it is. And they do this every time. This is why this shit has taken over so quickly. People do care about their children. Even bad parents at least pretend to care about their children, Jack.
Yeah.
And this is what they do to them. It's gonna kill your kid.
Well,
well.
instilling fear has been a powerful motivator for a long time.
Yeah. There, look, even the rate that we get, that 40%, that's not actual suicides. You know that, right?
Yeah.
It's the suicide. It depends on which way you read it, Jack, whether it's serious suicidal thoughts or actual attempts.
Yeah, I was thinking it was ideation.
It is what it is. But that's how they scare him. They think your kid's going to kill himself. Cut off their wiener. Shove a dilator up them when they're sleeping.
If your kid doesn't join our cult, they're going to die or whatever.
It's going to kill kids and it's going to kill teachers.
Teachers? Wait, time out. Why are you going to kill yourself if you have to call a child by their legal name? Why?
Because then they'll have to go by their legal name too. And how dare you?
And there's their end face. I'm going to have to kill myself now. For the record, you don't have to kill yourself, homie. It'll be all right. It's fine.
You'll get over it.
In my school, teachers called us by our name, our given name, all the time. None of them killed themselves over it.
But they're more delicate now, Monkey.
Do I need to put a warning inside now?
You cut out. What'd you say?
I said, do we have to put a warning on this that we talked about suicide now?
I don't know. We didn't talk about suicide. This fucking retard just vaguely threatened it.
I do. Fuck that retard. Do you have anything else to say about him?
No, I hate this person. I think they're stupid and they're trying to fearmonger and scare people into compliance, which the emotional blackmail, I've had enough of that from ex-girlfriends. I don't need it from randos, and I'm not going to put up with it.
I want to get a little personal for just a minute. I had my doctor's appointment the other day, and we're coming to the end of it, and she said, there anything else? And I said, actually, there is. Said every time we've talked, every time I've been in your office, we've talked about suicide, because one of the things they ask on the admittance paper, whatever it is, have these things happen, and one of them is suicidal thoughts. And I said to her, I said, this is the first time of all the appointments where I can tell you that since last time, which was almost a year and a half ago, I haven't had any of those thoughts.
Oh, that's good.
Not one. And when I thought about it, Jack, I actually cried a happy cry. Because it's been a long road, but acceptance is finally here. And getting to tell her that was a really good feeling.
Yeah, I bet.
It really was. So I know I've talked about it before where I've had those thoughts, and I absolutely have. But acceptance does come eventually. This has been a real life change, Jack. So it took a while. It took a little bit. But yeah, I was able to tell again, none of those thoughts. And
awesome.
Yeah, it was it felt really good. All right. I don't think I have anything else to bring.
Hold on real quick. Thank you, Armed Liberal. When you guys said trans, I thought you meant Transformers that got hard. Don't get me wrong. I'm an ally and still hard. Well, that's the doop-de-doo of it, If you haven't seen AP's videos on Armed Liberal. Oh, dear God.
I haven't. I'll have to check them out.
Oh, my God. You are missing out, good sir. That is the strangest thing I've seen in a long time.
Lesser Logic says, I reached that too, and I've finally been off morphine for over a month, cold turkey. Cool, dude.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Nice.
I can't read that dangerous, but that's funny as shit. S Cybertest, thank you. This is why you start sending nanny cams to school with your children. These indoctrinating groomers need stopped. 100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. And thank you, everybody, for the kind words and stuff in chat. I do see those. I don't want to go over it on this. Maybe we should do a separate show where we cover it. There was a Twitter file the other day, and I'm going to throw it into chat for you guys to read it if you want to. It covers the vaccine. Campaign. Let's put it that way. The vaccine campaign. And it's very disturbing because one of the things that they say in there is that they needed to stop people from saying true things because it might make people hesitant.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty Orwellian fucked up nonsense.
Now I have to be careful how we talk about it. Because I can't say what I really believe about that because there's the, YouTube. One more time, I will reiterate. I do think that it probably should be given to people like me who have a bunch of comorbidities. I think it probably should be given to old people. Notice that that's where I stopped. I can't say much more than that. Rumble only show. That one will definitely have to be a Rumble only show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But read the Twitter file that I just gave you if you can and are interested. But it is really fucked up to see them actually say, don't even let them spread the truth. That's pretty fucked up, Jack.
A little bit.
Anyway, so I think that's the only thing I really wanted to bring tonight.
Well, I brought the pain, so.
Oh, God. I don't want to talk about. I'll just throw this name out into chat. Barbie Kardashian. If you don't know about him, look him up. Have you seen that weirdo?
I don't think so.
Oh, God. And I just closed my Twitter. I just want to bring up the picture. They were arrested in Limerick, which made me laugh. It was right about St. Patrick's Day, too, that this happened. Right? They're arrested for I'll just read this. Barbie Kardashian, a biological male who has no hormone treatment or surgery and is sworn to kill and rape women, has been placed in a women's prison in Limerick by the Irish authorities.
I had that article, but I wasn't going to put it in the queue because I thought it was a little too close to being on the line.
Yeah, the only this is them. This is them, guys. This is Barbie Kardashian.
Totally a real person, not a bunch of nonsense.
It's going into a women's prison after swearing that they're going to rape women. And the Irish are like, fuck it, put her in a women's prison. Is there a not even trying award?
Yeah, the UK gets it every time. The Irish are trying to catch up.
I did say on Twitter, and I do stand by this, there's a joke in there somewhere.
There's a lot of jokes in there. None of
it's in Limerick, for fuck's sake. Okay. People can tell when they see me that I'm a victim of self-ham. Did you mean harm? Don't do it anymore. Be careful.
Self-ham? Is that like eating ham for 20 years? You got really fat and diabetic?
I can't eat another ham ever. Sorry, I don't normally fuck with people who make typos, but if it's funny, it's funny.
Yeah, it is what it is. We've all done it.
Self-ham is kind of funny. All right, what do we have here? Arrest warrant issued for You're going to try to arrest Putin? All right. Arrest warrant issued for Vladimir Putin by International Criminal Court over the Ukrainian war. An arrest warrant has been issued by the International Criminal Court for Russian President Vladimir Putin's war crimes over his involvement in the abduction of children from Ukraine. I'm assuming you have proof that he was like, hey, go steal those kids?
No, he was out there himself. He's like the Hamburglar, but with kids. People are like, Vladimir. And he's like, want, I'll give it back.
Ukrainian presidential advisor for children's rights, Daria, oh, fuck me.
Morgendorfer?
Harasimchuk. Fuck. Last month reported that almost 14,000 Ukrainian children have been abducted.
You know, like you do.
They've stolen 14,000 kids?
Well, they're busy over there. They got a lot going on.
That's a lot of kids.
It is.
Where do they have them?
A Chinese shoe factory. Is that wrong?
No, it's probably true. Seriously, where would they be housing them?
I don't know. They're probably getting adopted or sold, harvested for kidneys or something.
The ICC said in a statement that Putin bore individual criminal responsibility for the abduction and deportation of Ukrainian children, which amounts to war crimes. Wait a minute. Time out. They're abducting kids and deporting kids?
Well, you know, maybe they're illegal immigrant kids.
I am so confused.
I'm Ukrainian.
All right, we're going to steal some Ukrainian kids. Meanwhile, get these fucking Ukrainian kids out of here. All right.
I didn't write the article because it doesn't make much sense. They're just looking for a reason to start a war.
Oh, dear God. It also issued a warrant for the arrest of Maria, something fucking Russian, the commissioner for children's rights in the office of president of the Russian Federation, on similar allegations. Moscow had previously said it does not recognize the jurisdiction of the ICC. I'm fairly certain the United States doesn't either.
No, there was an article that came out the other day about the Pentagon blocking charging a bunch of people with war crimes because then they might come after Americans too.
Yeah, it's why America's staying out of this, because America, we deal with our criminals ourselves, and you don't want to get to a point where some jackass can some jackass overseas is like, get that American.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're not supposed to be nosing around in our business anyway, because we fought a big war to get away from other people telling us what we had to do.
Yeah, and you don't want to be at the whim of the world.
Yeah, especially the EU.
Yeah, so I'm with Putin on this. The ICC can go fuck themselves. We do not recognize this court. We do not recognize its jurisdiction, Putin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told journalists in Moscow on Tuesday. On Monday, prosecutors at the ICC said they would formally open 2 war crime cases and issue... You're opening the cases and you're issuing the arrest warrant? That seems a little ahead of itself.
Well, I mean, they don't all have due process, do they?
For several Russians deemed responsible for the mass abduction of Ukrainian children and the targeting of Ukrainian civilian infrastructure. Stop that bullshit. We've already seen this. They are firing on Ukrainian infrastructure because that's where you have your military.
Hate fact.
On Thursday, a UN-backed inquiry cited Russian attacks against civilians in Ukraine, including systemic torture and killing in occupied regions, among potential issues that amount to war crimes and possibly crimes against humanity. All right, I'm just going to throw this out there. The stuff where we've seen war crimes look staged as fuck, and I do not trust the Ukrainians not to be behind them.
Yeah, as far as I know, the Azov battalion probably did half those war crimes.
Yep. And I just don't trust that they're not doing this for PR reasons.
Yeah.
Sorry. How about the Ukrainians who hit Polish infrastructure? Oh, we don't even talk about that anymore.
Yeah, because that would technically be an attack on NATO.
It absolutely was. And when this story comes out, we'll talk about it real quick. Poland gets bombed. And they managed to blow up a farm, specifically a it was like a weight station for where they do their wheat, with a truck there. This is a pretty precise strike. And they're like, the Russians hit the Polish. And it's like, and I told you guys that night, bullshit. No way. There's no fucking way. Because they don't want to fight with us, which that would be because it pulls NATO in. If you attack NATO, everybody from NATO has a responsibility to defend that country. Unless the Ukrainians do it. And we find out, yes, it was absolutely the Ukrainians.
And then it got like, oh, well, it was a whoopsie.
And then the story just went away. They killed 2 Poles. And what did they say? Oh, yeah, it was a stray bullet, a stray missile. We were trying to shoot down one of the Russian missiles.
Yeah, you were aiming the wrong way.
Your stray missile just happened to precisely hit this infrastructure target. That's some bad fucking luck, man.
Well, these things happen in war when you're trying to start World War III.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't believe that the Ukrainians aren't behind this shit. Is that wrong?
No, I'm with you.
Oh, all right. Move. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. Is this all the children that lived in the places Russia is trying to annex? Because that would make some sense. Yeah, evacuating children from a war zone that you consider your citizens, that would make a little bit of sense. Because also, since Ukrainians have left the ICC since Ukraine has let the ICC in before, they would technically have some jurisdiction because it involves Ukraine, but it still just is PR. Yeah, well, I mean, nobody wants kids in a war zone, so they might have relocated families, and that's what they're talking about. I don't know. I think most of this is made up nonsense.
Ukraine tried getting NATO to bail them out even more by blaming Russia for attack by Ukraine on Poland. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, they want everybody else in the fight so they can win. I mean, I get it. If I was Ukraine, I'd want that too, but it's a Europe problem, not an us problem. How much do we have to give these clowns before it's too much?
We passed that a long time ago.
Well, I know that and you know that, but our dipshit politicians are desperate to get in a war over there.
Hunter Biden files lawsuit against laptop repair shop owner. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, dude. Really?
Right. Nothing like bringing this in the news even more. This was a dumb idea.
For what?
Leaking personal information or something like that.
Hunter Biden has filed a sweeping countersuit against the computer repair shop owner in a legal action that escalates the battle over how provocative data and images of the president's son were obtained nearly 4 years ago. The shop owner had claimed that Biden dropped his laptop off and never picked it up. He didn't just claim it. We know it's true. Yeah. Because if he had picked it up, he would have it.
Also, he didn't pay the guy for the work that he did. He abandoned that thing.
On Friday morning, in the claim filed in the U.S. District Court in Delaware, Biden and his attorney said that John Paul Mac Isaac had no legal right to copy and distribute private information.
It was technically his at that point.
It was. They accused him and others of 6 counts of invasion of privacy, including conspiracy to obtain and distribute data.
This is why you always pay your computer repair guy or don't have incriminating shit on your hard drive.
I am fairly certain that the repair slip that you signed had something in there that if this is left after so many days, it becomes our property.
Oh, yeah. They always have that in there.
Yep. Good luck getting around that, dipshit. The 42-page document went into great detail about how Hunter Biden's data became public, a development that thrust it into the 2016 election controversy. and since January to the center of a congressional investigation led by Republicans into the president's son. The lawsuit might bring more attention to Hunter Biden's murky past. No, it won't, because the news isn't going to cover this because it makes him and his dad look bad. They accused him and others of 6 counts of invasion of privacy. Oh, we already read that one. The lawsuit might bring more attention. Hunter Biden and his lawyers are trying to reframe the story in part with the countersuit by putting the emphasis on a private citizen whose privacy was allegedly invaded rather than a man who detractors claim exploited his father's name and gained from his political connections. This is from the lawsuit. As a result of Mac Isaac's unlawful agreement and conspiracy with others, Mr. Biden's personal data was made available to third parties and then ultimately to the public at large, which is highly offensive, causing harm to Mr. Biden and his reputation.
Yeah, he had such a sterling reputation.
And his reputation. The object of invading Mr. Biden's privacy and disseminating his data was not for any legitimate purpose, but to cause harm and embarrassment to Mr. Biden, the suit says.
No legitimate reason, like the fact there were criminal things going on there.
Right.
You're right. There was a person doing drugs. It was handed over to an attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Yeah, I think that qualifies as a reason to turn it over. I found evidence of criminal activity. I don't know what to do with this.
Here's the truth of the matter, and you don't have to like this, Hunter. You didn't pick it up. It became his property. At that point, he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't yours anymore.
Don't like it? Don't fucking leave your laptop at a place and not pay the bill.
This action is in response to a lawsuit that Mac Isaac himself filed last year and has since amended several times, alleging that Hunter Biden defamed him by claiming that he had illegally accessed the data when, in fact, the laptop became his property when it was left in his shop, according to Mac Isaac. 100%. This guy lost his business over this shit. And yeah, Hunter, you were in the public eye. You know who wasn't? Mac Isaac. Frankly, Mac should probably be suing Joe Biden and his campaign.
Yeah.
As well as several news outlets who defamed him repeatedly by reporting. Remember how many times, mate, this was stolen information. That's what we heard at first. That's what the whole thing was with the New York Post. This was hacked. It wasn't hacked. Mac Isaac had no problem with the stuff being disseminated, and he owned it. Falling asleep, give into it, Green Lady. Ask nuts. I am like the best sleeping pill online. And I'm okay with that. All right. I got nothing wrong. I don't take that personally. It's actually a sign of pride. I'm glad that I can relax people when I'm yelling fuck over and over.
I just I'm glad people show up.
It is a special gift that the gods gave me, that I can be yelling and people are like, oh, this is so relaxing. You know what I mean?
Is that a gift?
It is. Just be careful listening to me while you're driving a car or operating heavy machinery.
I don't know. I mean, like you're in an argument with your wife and she starts nodding off. Is that really going to help things?
Yes. If you've ever been in an argument with my wife, her falling asleep would be the best thing. Because she is vicious. It's all right, though. I still love her. ATF gains financial information on potential gun buyers for.
You know,
Jack,
the headline before you get mad, Monkey.
I was annoyed at ATF.
I know, but they don't know what you're talking about if you quit halfway through.
You're shouting fuck usually gets my sleep paralysis demons to leave if it makes you feel. No, I'm seriously, I'm okay with helping people get to sleep. You know what? If you're having trouble sleeping and we're live or we're not, just turn on our show and listen and let me take you off to dreamland.
And
And
then we'll try and give post-hypnotic suggestions like donate to Jack and Monkey.
donate. We could have a lot more fun with that. We really could. But nothing that is coming to mind is appropriate to say on YouTube.
I know, right?
Give your husband a blowjob.
It's his birthday.
You want to suck it. Anyway, where are we? ATF gains financial information on potential gun buyers for warrantless tracking, documents show. So, highly illegal stuff coming out of the ATF. I am pretty fucking shocked by that, Jack.
I am shocked and or appalled. I mean, who would have seen that coming? The ATF trying to skirt the law? What?
If the federal government has been using Americans' income and gun purchases to conduct warrantless trafficking and deny Second Amendment rights, agents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the shitheads behind so many horrible things,
Waco,
gave salary estimates to the Federal Bureau of Investigation as reasons to have people's firearm purchases monitored. What?
Yep.
These
quick,
dirty motherfuckers.
Well, yeah, what'd you expect? Thank you, Evolved Potato. So monkey talking makes women fall asleep. Damn, monkey could bore any woman so much that they fall asleep.
Yep, and then I play video games.
It's a win-win.
Eric Pratt, Senior Vice President of Gun Owners of America, GOA, told the Epic Times that the ATF activities monitoring individual people is a serious problem. It's a fucking crime. Travis Gardner, thank you. People yelling obscenities while I try to sleep takes me back to my childhood. Is that what that's?
Rough childhood, huh?
Did you grow up in a military family? Because they tend to swear a lot in military families.
Daddy comes home and he gets a drink and then he gets mad.
All right. Where are we? Thank you for that donation, Travis. Congress needs to rein in this rogue agency by either exercising oversight over it or abolishing the unconstitutional agency altogether.
Agreed.
B. We're going with B.
Yeah.
These revelations come from new documents viewed by the Epic Times, which it received from its Freedom of Information lawsuit. The latest production from the FOIA has hundreds of pages, many redacted, showing ATF agents requesting warrantless surveillance by the FBI for lawful reasons such as low salaries, past firearm purchases, and sending bizarre messages.
Yep. Fucking around with your friends has now got you on the Fed's radar.
Wait, how is it that we have so many of these people who get guns who probably shouldn't have them? Either they have a criminal record or a psychological record, and they go out there and they shoot a whole bunch of fucking people. Those guys can get guns, no fucking problem. Meanwhile, Jack, you're probably being tracked for some of the shit you and I have said in DMs.
Yep.
The Epic Times exclusively reported in January about the FBI's secret monitoring service that tracks people by the National Instant Criminal Background Check System for gun purchases for merely potential violations of the law.
Yep. No actual crime.
Too poor to buy guns. According to the document, a man in Arizona was put into the NICS daily monitoring because he has a reported income of only $2,839. The ATF agent wrote, "In my experience, someone with this amount of income would not be able to afford 20 firearms."
Maybe he sells plasma. Maybe they were gifts.
I mean, there's all kinds of reasons people wouldn't be reporting income.
Yeah. Well, maybe he just lies on his taxes. That's none of your fucking business. That's the IRS. Stay in your lane.
Comrade Kitty, thank you. I used to sleep to South Park. Oh my God, they killed Kenny. You bastards. It's engraved in my brain, so monkey cursing would be normal. I used to fall asleep to South Park. The Towley episode puts me right out. It just calms me for some reason.
Want to get high?
To be fair, Jack is incredibly lewd in DMs. We're not lewd in our DMs. We are we say the things that we couldn't say here.
Yeah.
No slurs, not that kind of stuff. Just some
Topics.
of our thinking that we're not allowed to say here.
Yeah, because there's a lot of wrong think you can't do on YouTube's.
A Asian man in Texas was put on the manual background check because the ATF said he had no work history, which could possibly indicate that he is straw purchasing.
Or the fact that he's from another country.
You can't, never mind. A special agent in Kansas, emailed ATF liaison about the NICS to flag 2 purchasers for potential trafficking. The agent wrote, "My targets are purchasing an abundance of firearms without a license or known financial means to obtain the product." Find a crime or leave him the fuck alone. Again, how do you miss all of these fucking people who actually do bad shit, but you're checking out Asian guy here because we can't find that he worked anywhere?
Well, you know why. It's
I know
for
why.
political reasons. They only care about power. That's why you don't hear about them busting people with like illicit hooch anymore. They rarely ever go after people with stills. That's usually the county guys or the locals, you know.
Yeah. It's fucking I hate the ATF. I don't know which one I hate more, the ATF or the FBI, because they're both scumbags.
They're both corrupt as shit these days too.
You know, you say these days, and I feel like you're being a little nice to them in the past.
Well, I mean, like, you just didn't hear about this stuff as much. They didn't get busted on it.
Sure.
So when they were out gunning people down, like shooting the wrong person, nobody really said anything.
I just want to point out, when I'm reading articles, you know, before the show and stuff, it's just like this. I have to stop and have a mental rant go off because so much of what I read is just infuriating.
That's why I bring it to the show when I find it.
You guys,
like, well, this pissed me off. Time to make Monkey mad.
Yeah, and it works out. It really does. Navy Secretary cited climate change as top.
I would like everybody to keep in mind the times we live in and what might be going on in the world.
Navy Secretary cited climate change as top priority as Biden proposes shrinking the fleet. Jack, didn't we just have Chinese boats off the coast of Hawaii?
Yes.
Thank you, Janet Reno. The ATF was my best dildo. Yeah. Right. It's not called a dildo anymore. It's a dilator. It's a dilator.
Well, that's just for the neo-vaginas.
The Biden administration proposed cutting 2 ships from the Navy in its 2024 budget plan. Secretary of the Navy Carlos del Toro said he sees fighting climate change as a top priority for the Navy. Why? What are you going to do?
Because China owns all of our people.
You're going to take them out. Are you going to find climate change and take the 6th Fleet out there and bomb it to death? What the fuck?
No, they're going to decommission a bunch of ships that are gas hogs and get more electrical ones. By shrinking the fleet, it's less carbon footprint. I mean, I'm convinced that probably 80% of our high-ranking people in the government, whether it's in the military, the education department, or the actual elected officials, all work for the fucking Chinese.
The only way I can see you actually using the Navy as a means to fight climate change, Jack, would be to find a country that is polluting too much, say China, and going and sitting off their coast and bombing the fuck out of them to get them to stop. And I'm not being facetious here. That's the only fucking way you could do it. Other than what you said. I mean, I guess you could decommission if we still have any of the diesel stuff. I don't diesel anymore. But any of the gas-powered ones. As Secretary of the Navy, I can tell you that I made climate change one of my top priorities since the first day I came into office, Del Toro said March 1st in remarks at the University of the Bahamas.
That's why you should be in your job.
Del Toro said he met with the Bahamas Prime Minister Philip Davis. Bahamas, can I just thank you for electing somebody with a name I can fucking say? I really do appreciate y'all for that. Philip Davis during his visit and spoke at length with him about the climate crisis. You know, I saw somebody point out on Twitter, Jack, the climate crisis caused the horrible droughts in California. It's also causing the ridiculous rainfall. Could they make up their fucking mind?
No.
And focus the bulk of his remarks on climate. The U.S. Navy and Marine Corps teams have been working on climate and energy security for a long time, he said, and we are accelerating and broadening those efforts. Where'd this fucker come from?
China.
We view the climate crisis much the same as a damage control efforts on a stricken ship. And it's an all hands on deck moment. So you're putting up plating around climate change?
They're closing the blast doors on climate change.
You're getting the ship fitter shop to make you something that's going to fight the climate?
Yes.
Frank Hubbard, thank you. That's why we lost the war games. They don't care. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, they have these misguided notions of what they're supposed to be doing, and they're fucking ludicrous.
For several years now, the Navy has set a goal of having 355 manned ships. But for the last 3 years, the Biden administration has proposed, the Biden administration has proposed shrinking the fleet below 298 ships instead of increasing it towards the 355 goal. I don't know if we need the 355, Jack. I honestly don't. I don't know enough about how the Navy's being run right now and all that. But shrinking instead of growing it, how about leave it the same? And, learn how to use it properly.
Yeah, or plan for asymmetrical warfare so we don't lose to China when they inevitably start a world war.
God damn it. Thank you, Toto. Climate change is affecting the rains down in Africa. Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's funny.
That is funny. This year, the Biden budget called for the decommissioning of 11 ships and the construction of just 9 ships for a net loss of 2 vessels. The budget proposal was met with skepticism from members of Congress, which has acted in the last 2 years to spare the Navy from cuts to the fleet proposed by the Biden administration. And remember, for the last 2 years, Congress has been run by the Democrats. They're the ones that have been stopping Biden from shrinking the fleet. So a little bit of good on you guys. Hashtag not all. Okay.
Real quick. Thank you. As Cybertest, the Biden crime organization wants to open the U.S. up to war wider than Tim Pool's fence-sitting goalpost. Yeah. His fence-sitting goatsy hole. It says. Yes, that is accurate. They can't put a beanie on this, but honestly, it really looks like they're trying to weaken us. They've been selling off the strategic oil reserve, making all these decisions to get rid of military members that were Navy SEALs they fired and all that. And now they're shrinking the Navy. What next? Why don't we just invite China right onto our shores? Because they're probably coming through Canada anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad idea to me. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't know enough about our capabilities. We do know that for the first time in, 20 years, we lost a war game?
Yeah.
Maybe our focus shouldn't be on climate change. Look, if you have ways to make the ships greener that doesn't affect anything, please do it. I'm all for green stuff, Jack, but it has to actually work. You can't just do it because, it's green energy. Q, thank you so much. Here, split a bowl of ramen with Jack. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Q.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe you should be more focused on things like, look, it's not like World War II, Jack. Ships are not going to have to be sitting where they can actually see each other to blow each other up.
No, but I mean, if you're going to decommission some ships, maybe invest in like some drones or something to compensate that makes sense. And they're not doing that. They're just like, yeah, we don't need that. Shut it down.
What does make sense is having actually more aircraft carriers so you can launch more drones. Maybe you can make a smaller aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Because drones are not the size of, an F-14 or an F-22 or whatever they're flying off the decks these days.
Yeah, well, think of how many of those you could have where you just have a swarm of drones fly off that are remote controlled from like Bethesda or somewhere.
A drone craft carrier, yes. Anyhow.
Real quick, thank you, Frosted Glass. Monkey was right about his voice being able to put anyone to sleep. Since I started watching Lords of the Night, I've been through 17 cats.
Wow, that's disturbing.
That's dark, dude.
Collusion of the century, DOJ, CCP, and big media's conspiracy to take down Miles Gao? How do you say that?
Gao. Yeah.
Half an hour before the Justice Department first published on its website an unsealed indictment and the arrest of Miles Gao, Bloomberg had already published a 1,200-word article detailing the Southern District of New York's allegations against Mr. Gao. How? Have you ever noticed Bloomberg has done that a couple of times?
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you. Thank you, the quartering. Did someone say Tim Pool's goatsy hole? I want to whisper in it and hear the echoes of my own milquetoast opinions. Tads needs to get off his ass and get OBS working for his own show. That's true. You do, Cybertaz. But thanks to the quartering for that. Even that was a milquetoast opinion somehow. and thank you, Chris, who says, here's split a bowl of ramen with the roaches in your fridge. Thankfully, there are none. If I find one, I'm going to freak out. Thank you for that.
You don't have any food for him to eat.
That's true.
Thank you, Dixie Rose, for that double feminist donation. Y'all help me stay awake at work and lull me to sleep at bedtime. Have to, Jack. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, Dixie.
I like these double feminist donations.
That's how you know they're really committed to the cause.
Yeah, remember, guys, the feminist donation helps us stay open. It helps us eat.
I like them because they're giving half to me.
Yeah, that's nice too. That way you get feminist donations.
I like eating.
Where are we? It's apparent that Bloomberg knew about this, then still sealed. That's important. Sealed indictment before the DOJ released it to the public. Michael Bloomberg praised Wang Qishan, vice president of China and the first CCP official publicly exposed by Mr. Gao in 2017 as the most powerful man in the world. With a background like that, it's unsurprising that the outlet was tipped off in advance and that the CCP's latest attempt to take down Gao with help from traders inside the DOJ. Who is Gao?
I believe they're going to cover that.
Oh, okay. Miles Gao himself, the enemy number one of the CCP, is also expected for months his own arrest. When the CCP, that's the Chinese
Communist Party.
Thank you. Infiltrated DOJ, manipulated Mr. Gao's bankruptcy proceedings, and instilled luck Despins at the DOJ-appointed trustee. Despins used this opportunity to attempt to extort $250 million. Was he fucking Dr. Evil?
You'd think so.
From Mr. Gao, threatening to send Miles to jail using his connections at the DOJ, SEC, IRS, and the court system. A partner at Paul Hastings LLP, Despins is an exposed CCP proxy whose law firm is blessed with billions of dollars annually, representing CCP state-owned enterprises. Yeah, I would imagine if you have the CCP as your client, you're pretty well off.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, John. Just to let you know, Keem is sponsoring a boxing match between Boogie and Wings. Oh,
Who
God,
is?
that's Keemstar.
I know he's been talking about that for a while. Did he actually get it set up?
I guess so. I would watch that because that's fat guys fighting is hilarious for some reasons.
Boogie gonna get his ass whipped.
Probably. Say what you will about Wings. He's got crazy strength.
Where are we here?
They'll both get tired and break controllers. It'll be funny.
I'm trying to look here for who Gao is, and I'm not seeing anything.
What does it say in that article?
It doesn't seem to. Other than just pissing off the CCP. And all it says really about that is that they hate him. Where was that? They hate Miles Gao for the same reason they hate President Trump, General Michael Flynn, the January 6th political prisoners, and other patriots. They hate us because we want to be free. Do you know who this is?
Yeah, he did a kind of fraud scheme where he got $1 billion. And that's but he hate the CCP hates him. Something about Canada. Hold on, let me look it up. I don't remember. I know it was involved $1 billion scam, supposedly.
All right, this is from Insider. The Outlandish Life. Oh, I could probably put it on the screen. Because they did arrest his ass. The Outlandish Life of Gao Wenguai. Is this the right guy? Once one of China's richest men is Steve Bannon confidant, who the DOJ accused of $1 billion fraud.
Yeah, that guy.
Chinese businessman Gao Wengui. I don't know.
He's got like 7 names, by the way.
Has been arrested on fraud charges. He's a critic to the Chinese government and associate of Trumpist Republicans. Gao's accused of stealing billions from followers to fund a luxury lifestyle. The enigma around the billionaire deepened this week as U.S. authorities charged the property tycoon with orchestrating $1 billion fraud. Much of the background is still shrouded in mystery. Here's what we know about him. I don't care. I want to know. All right. Well, that's him. Who cares? It's an interesting thing, and seeing that this guy with CCP connections is in our government. No shit. There's a ton of them in there. I just want to reiterate, Jack, that the whole thing with Eric Swalwell, it's not that he banged that nasty bitch. It's that the Chinese specifically said that they were going to find American politicians who were low levels, say like a county commissioner or a state representative, and push them into power. And nobody's asked Eric Swalwell about that shit. Nobody's asked about that. Everybody pays attention to that ugly bitch that he fucked. I don't care about her because I'm doubting he had any secrets to tell her in the first place, Jack.
No, and she's dead now anyway.
But they push him up to this, and he's suddenly on the intelligence committee. Why is that not worrying more people?
Because nobody seems to care that China's running our government.
And they are deeply entwined. And this is the whole thing with going back to Hunter Biden. We saw the other day, and we didn't get to talk about it because we didn't do a show that night. We saw that Beau Biden's ex-wife got part of a $3 million payment to the Biden family. And the rest of the payment, it went to, I forget the guy's name who got the payment. He gets $3 million. He takes half of it, and it all goes to the Biden family. It goes to Hunter. I forget who else got the bigger payment. And then Beau's ex-wife, for some reason, got, what was it, $25,000?
$35,000.
$35,000. For reasons that make no sense. She has nothing to do with the business side of things.
Yeah, there was never a reason given. But no, don't pay any attention to that. It's not. They're not buying influence from the Chinese. No, Chinese are not interfering in our government at all. Don't think that. You'll go to a gulag. Say hi to the Uyghurs for me.
Evolved Potato said he was mainly affiliated with Xi Jinping's political enemies. Ah, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a business guy. Bribed officials. Probably bribed them to get out of the country.
Yeah. This is fucking weird, man. But again, the interesting part, I just didn't know who he was. That's why I wanted to go down that journey. The interesting thing there is that all of these agencies are working together to get this guy because he pissed off the CCP.
Yep.
We're
That's
doing
the
China's
important part. It's nobody's talking about this either.
Yeah, we're doing China's dirty work for him.
Well, why won't we? They bribe enough of our officials.
Because we shouldn't be doing. Never mind.
Well, I mean that's obvious, right?
For some reason, StreamYards isn't showing me how many people are watching on YouTube right now.
I'm seeing 190.
190. How many likes do we have?
88.
88. Rumble folks, you guys, only less than half of you guys have hit the thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the like button if you're on YouTube. What are y'all doing?
Well, with Rumble, you got to refresh.
Look, I just did.
Oh.
I don't have an ego problem. I really don't. But that helps us with the algorithm. Hit that button. Hit it. Click it. Click. Anyway, where were we? Strange Fruit Part 2. They want to legalize lynching. What?
Thank you, Frosted.
Medium? Of course.
I mean, with a headline like that, you didn't suspect. It's either the Medium or the Atlantic.
I should have known. Guys, we're brought to you by you too. Not by you two. That would be great, man, if they gave us some money.
Yeah, they're not giving us money.
No. Bono would listen to this shit and probably just die.
He'd shit his pants.
Monkey doesn't have an ego. Okay, when I said I don't have an ego problem, I meant I don't have low self-esteem, I guess is how I should have said it. I don't think I have an ego problem.
Like I think every egomaniac ever has said.
My ego's perfect. It's smaller than it should be. I should think much higher of myself. I do have a little bit of low self-esteem because I am pretty fucking cool.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to be this awesome?
It's hard to be humble. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble. On February 28th in the year of 2023, are they going to do this the whole time?
Yes.
It is one of those people that think I'm a writer.
No, I'm a writer.
Yes.
You got to make it sound douchier than it is.
The Tennessee House Criminal Justice Committee was having a polite conversation about how to kill death row inmates. As they were discussing executing inmates by firing squad, a method not allowed in Tennessee or any other civilized society, it's actually one of the best ways to do it if you're looking to keep them from suffering.
Yeah.
A bullet through the heart will take them out quick.
That's why we prefer ropes. I want to see them suffer.
Representative Paul Sherrill had another abhorrent idea as to how to kill people as punishment. Could I put in an amendment on that would include hanging by a tree also, he inquired. By the way, it's another way to quick. If you do it properly, it breaks the neck and kills them pretty fast. But see, the problem is these are ones that are visual, and nobody likes that. Because again, the most humane way to do it is to chop off their heads.
Well,
it really is.
You got sharp enough and heavy enough sword and a good axeman, but
if
you don't, it's going to be a little bit messy.
No, the guillotine, just and
no, was it Marie Antoinette? It got stuck, and she didn't die, and they had to push it down till her head fell off.
Well, you got to make sure it's sharp and weighted enough.
Whatever, I'm paying extra so they don't do that.
But if you're If that's what you're looking for, that's what does it. You cut off the blood supply to the head. It lasts for what, 6 seconds?
Something
anyway,
like
he said as if he was discussing the weather in a conversational tone. Did you see that clip?
Of this?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the clip is out there. It was floating around Twitter the other day. He did kind of say it in a conversational tone, and if I'm being honest, I kind of thought he was joking.
Maybe he was.
He added he would also sign onto the crude kill prisoners by death squad bill.
Yeah.
I must admit I did not watch the entire meeting. I was unable to find a source that contained it. But we're going to talk about it like you did anyway.
Look, those straw mans, they don't build themselves, monkey.
However, nobody immediately told Cheryl to shut the fuck up when they were morally obligated to do so. Morally obligated to tell somebody to shut the fuck up?
I guess that's a thing.
These people are, look, I understand there's times you want to tell somebody to shut the fuck up, but there's a time and a place. This was like an official government thing going on. Where are we? Which would have been when Cheryl said the words hanging by a tree. Perhaps this is because we are talking about a group of people who want to be killed by firing squad. All right, Jack, if you had to, you're on the death penalty and you get a pick, which way are you going?
Probably firing squad. As long
Firing
as they have
squad.
good aim. I'd want to make sure none of them are cross-eyed.
Yeah. You don't want major asshole up there doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheryl released a faux apology the next day, saying he used poor judgment in making his comments.
No, he did.
Indeed, he used poor judgment. People typically hide their sadistic, racist ideas.
Oh, big words.
He said he was sorry to anyone who may have been offended, hurt, or offended. Sincerity seems to be lacking in his apology.
I'm sorry you're a pussy.
The question is, did he mean hanging or lynching? All right, hanging somebody from a tree is not lynching. It can be part of lynching.
Look, your hate facts, not appropriate here.
Lynching involves a mob, not necessarily the state. However, as Michael Daly from the Daily Beast pointed out, Cheryl said tree, not gallows.
Well, he's probably from the South, so.
Well, they did used to hang people from trees.
Yeah. Horse thieves notoriously were hung from trees.
Often when those who live in the U.S. picture a noose dangling from a tree limb, the word that comes to mind is lynching. All right. Maybe that's with you and your friends. I think hanging.
Yeah.
It's therefore not unreasonable to conclude Cheryl was asking for lynching to be legalized. It is absolutely unreasonable.
Look, I'm just going to make broad sweeping assumptions about his intentions because it fits my narrative that way.
They were literally talking about state-sanctioned death penalty. Not a lynch mob, you stupid bitch.
Well, look, the word lynching comes from lynch mob. They're kind of connected. So, we're going to need you to stop. You're making too much sense.
Do you have to be retarded to write over at Medium?
It doesn't hurt.
I'm going to read this next part in her voice. And of course, when thinking of lynching, we typically imagine black person as victim.
Yay!
Lynching is racialized method of murder after all. All right, sweetheart, I need you to do this. Stop picturing black people hanging from trees. That's fucking weird.
Yeah. Maybe I just grew up with too many Westerns, but whenever I think of hanging somebody, I think of like the old West where they'd hang the horse thieves.
Yeah.
Not necessarily black people in the South in the 19 blickety too.
When Cheryl talked about lynching, my bet is that he was picturing a black person. As the song Strange Fruit portrays, he was gleefully picturing black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Bitch, what the okay. I can't read anymore. I'm already annoyed. Stop putting what you do on other people. You're the one who knows that song. You don't even know that he does. You don't even know that he was picturing black people. You were. And it's really weird that you sit around spending your day thinking about black people in trees.
It's that thing where they're giving the worst possible interpretation to their enemy because they don't like him. So obviously he must mean the worst possible thing because he must be a racist. I mean, why else would he be in the position he's in?
As Faithless said, projection, abso-fucking-lutely. And then, look, I'm thinking this, so you must be. And Democrats do this all the fucking time, especially when it comes to race. They're racist, so they imagine you are. That's why everybody's a little racist. When you tell me that, you're telling me you're racist. Stop putting your sins on me.
No, they can't. They can't stop themselves.
Jack, can you take this next one?
Yeah. Give me 1 second to pull it up here. All right. Next up on the list, a New Jersey mom reported by military official for post objecting to polysexual poster at child's school. We talked about this when it first happened. Now there's a lawsuit. New Jersey mother is for those of you that didn't know. New Jersey mother is suing after she was allegedly reported by a high-ranking U.S. military official as a safety concern for complaining about sexually charged posters at her child's elementary school. Angela Reading, a mother of two who served as a member of the Northern Burlington Board of Education, made headlines in December after Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Schilling of Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst reportedly flagged her post to local police when she alerted parents in a local Facebook group that posters promoting polysexuality at the entrance of her 7-year-old school. The current situation involving Miss Reading's actions has caused safety concerns for many families, Schilling wrote on his personal Facebook at the time. The Joint Base leadership takes this situation very seriously and from the beginning have had the security forces working with multiple state and local law enforcement agencies to monitor the situation to ensure the safety of the entire community. That's right. A member of your military put the whole base on alert and the police and local law enforcement.
Sorry about that, dude. Yeah.
No worries.
We did cover this story when it came out, and this is fucking ridiculous. I'm glad that I'm hoping it's her suing.
Oh, it is.
Good.
Reading's lawsuit, which was filed on March 15th in the U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey by her legal counsel at the Thomas More Society, alleges Reading was treated unfairly and that her civil rights were violated. Why is the military involved in reporting people for Facebook posts? This is insanely dangerous. In a statement provided to Fox News Digital, Thomas More Society's special counsel, Christopher Ferreira, noted how in November 2022, Reading shared how she had attended an elementary school math night the previous evening with her 7-year-old daughter after reading LGBT affirming posters in the school entry, asked her mother what polysexual meant.
Hang on. Why in the fuck is that hanging in an elementary school? This is what we were talking about in Florida. Why do you need to talk to little kids about this shit?
Well, apparently this sort of shit's infecting the military now, too, because this was not an on-base school. This was off-base, and some military guy reports it to his bosses, and then to the state, and then to the locals.
Because a mother was worried about the fact her 7-year-old is seeing posters about polysexuality.
Yes. The article I just dropped the link for, it has her original post in it, and it reads like a concerned parent. There's no threats in there, no threats of violence or anything. This is terrifying how many people got involved in this and were put on notice. It's about safety concerns because she wants to know why some degenerate posters in her elementary school. Goes on, misreading merely questioned why elementary children were being invited to research topics of sexuality, noting that is not in the state educational standards nor the Board of Education approved curriculum. Remember, she was on the board.
Yeah.
Misreading did not name names of school or schools and invited respectful debate.
I would not have been respectful about this. Good on
I
her.
wouldn't have either.
I just want to
keep getting
reiterate.
suspended.
Most elementary schools run at most to grade 6, which is 11-year-olds.
Yeah.
So you're talking 5 to 11, and they're teaching. They have posters in their school for polysexuality, and I'm sure other things.
Oh yeah, this is just what she noticed. I mean,
and that's because her
ridiculous.
daughter asked her about it.
Yeah. The lawsuit also claims the police chief of North Hanover Township, along with military personnel from Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, pressured Reading to remove her Facebook post. When the chief of police and the military personnel are asking you to take this down, I would perceive that as a threat. There's a veiled threat in there of
Why?
like, well, we'd hate it if you didn't take this down.
I do not understand why the military is involved here.
That's what I don't get either. But then again, how many times have we seen General Milley or some of these other enlisted people posting videos about how woke they are?
Yeah.
The military is they've filtered a lot of the right wingers out. Through the facts.
While they have new ads, we saw the Army ad from last year. I mean, yeah, they're going straight woke.
Yeah. The lawsuit further claims the defendants falsely portrayed Reading as a security threat and reported her to various law enforcement and security agencies in an effort to retaliate against her and intimidate her into silence. One article I remember reading did say that she got reported to some federal agency, but I don't remember which one. The defendants acted singularly and in conspiracy with one another to deprive and chill the exercise of Mrs. Reading's rights, including rights protected by the United States and New Jersey constitutions, as well as other laws, the lawsuit claims.
Yeah, this is fucking disgusting, man.
She deserves to win and get a pile of money, and that military guy, that Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Schilling, needs to lose some rank, because this is crap.
He needs to find a dilator and go fuck himself.
Yeah.
This is none of his business, and this is sure as fuck none of the... You know, if he did this as a father, and I don't mean the security part, but he wanted to argue with her about it on their Facebook thing, fine. But that in his civilian capacity.
Yeah, but that's not what he did. And it doesn't even say that he had any kids in this school. Like, I don't even know this guy's involvement with this school at all.
If I remember one of the articles we read, didn't somebody else report it to him? Like
I think
some
so.
Parent from the group?
One of the parents from the group narked,
yeah.
I think. But yeah, so he, of course, had to raise it as a security concern with the military, the state officials, and local. This lady should sue everybody involved. I hope she wins against the police chief. I hope she wins against the lieutenant colonel. I hope she wins against the school. Anybody else that tried to get her to shut up.
Yep. Fuck them. This is her constitutional right to say what the fuck she wants.
We are quickly losing our rights. This is fucking disgusting.
And again, she didn't do anything wrong. Look, even if she had, threatening, that's none of the military's business. That is a private matter with the state and local police.
And I've never been enlisted, but correct me if I'm wrong. Don't you swear to uphold the Constitution when you join the military?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and not to shit all over it.
Yep. But we've seen a lot of that with people who take that oath and them just completely destroying it. Look, fuck.
It's horrific.
We saw Ted Lieu say he wishes he could tell people to shut up.
Yep.
Or make them shut up. He's a member of Congress.
Yeah, well, I expect that from a congressman, but the military?
He takes the same oath to defend the Constitution.
Yeah, it's just disgusting.
all of these guys who are elected officials take an oath to defend the Constitution.
Oh, I'm sure even the ATF does, and well, look at what they're doing.
Fucking degenerate pieces of shit. All right. And our last one tonight, I have no idea what this is. Doo-doo-doo. All right, let's blow it up so we can all see it. There we go. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
She looked mad.
Oh, yeah, she is mad. She's got a right to be mad.
Sorry, I meant to mute that. I didn't. Here we go.
Don't trust no Airbnbs. Okay, there you go, y'all. Straight to the kitchen. I ain't going nowhere. So deal with it. She disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I've been trying to do the right way. I went down there. I got the all the paperwork that I need to do.
All right, I know they're probably going to say, I am so confused about what's going on right now.
Just let the video play, and then we'll read about it.
Okay, look. I hear you. Just let the video play. And I will. But I have a compulsion.
I know, and it's funny to say, just let it play, because that just frustrates you more.
I can wait and get there, but I'm so confused right now. All right, here we go.
To get her ass evicted out my house, whatever, but that shit is a process. I have to go.
Did she Airbnb her house and the chick that came in won't leave?
Oh, you nailed it.
That's fucked up.
It's so California. She has squatters' rights.
She got a squatter from being an Airbnb.
Yep.
Wow.
Another reason not to rent your house out.
Those protocols, all the other stupid legal blase bull. And then I just got the police just left my house, and I'm like, get this out my house. And like, oh, she's a tenant now. She's
a tenant?
Yeah. Apparently, if you're in someone's house in California for more than 2 weeks and you get mail there, you're a tenant.
Oh,
and there's nothing you could do other than file an eviction notice. And that could take 2 years.
All right, look. Squatters shouldn't have any fucking rights. Period.
Correct.
This is mine. Get the fuck out.
But,
how the fuck did we get to this place where we have squatters' rights?
Squatters' rights where they're... it's not like it's an abandoned house. This lady lives here. This isn't even a case where it was like a house for sale and the squatters moved in. No, this lady rented a room on Airbnb, and the bitch was like, I'll be there for a couple weeks. And then, boom, I'm a tenant now.
How the fuck did we have politicians who actually sat down with each other and said, you know what we need to do? We need to make it legal for people to basically steal a house.
Oh, Monkey, you don't want to be mean. These people are houseless.
Get the fuck out. All right.
The tenant there. You and the police, okay?
My door. That's all I know.
Your door? This is my house. How about you get the out of my house?
Amen.
How about that's what you do? How about you get the out of my house? How about you get the out of my house? How about you get...
My favorite was when she said, this is my place.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself, lady.
Yeah.
I would be tempted to do, how do I say this? Bad things.
Right.
Like block that door from the outside.
Yeah. Brick it up, while she's sleeping or something. But you can't do that. And no, it's not trespassing dangerous because the state of California says she's a resident now. So she technically lives there. So yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Look, I understand, the things like renters and evictions and stuff like that, and why we have laws for that. These are squatters, though. She's not a resident of that house. She was renting it for a couple of weeks because of Airbnb is usually for travel.
Yeah. Well, how much you want to bet she didn't even pay the Airbnb? Because once she's in, and that's what you got to watch out for. And we've heard these stories before out of California where Airbnbs have gone wrong like this.
Huh.
That's why I would never put my house on Airbnb, ever. There's too many fucking weirdos out there.
I just missed like a whole minute of what you said because my internet was being shit, but it's okay.
You really didn't miss much.
Yeah, the whole squatters' right things needs to go away. And I hear you about the Airbnb. I would never. I don't like strangers in my house anyway.
Right.
The kids are always welcome here. My immediate family. My in-laws would even be allowed, but other than that, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah,
this is my place. You can sleep in the garage if you want, I guess, but get the fuck out of my house.
And then the balls to walk in and just start making food.
Yeah,
because you know she didn't buy any food. She just ate whatever that lady had.
Oh God, that's fucking horrible. I feel bad for that lady.
I know. She should probably learn some English too, but
she's got a long haul ahead of her to get this bitch out of her house.
Yep, it could take literally years for that to happen.
Expensive one because it's got to go through the court system.
Yeah, you gotta go in. You have to hire a lawyer. You have to go fill out all this paperwork about evictions. If you don't do it right, that's why you need a lawyer. If you don't do it right, you got to start all over.
Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, I can't read that cannibalistic, but that's funny too. All right, we're gonna wrap up here, Jack. I'm gonna go play a video game. I don't know which one I'm gonna play. I need to finish Hogwarts. Maybe I'll play Hogwarts.
Stardew Valley?
No, but it's funny you should say that. I'll tell you offline. I can't say it online.
Okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very kind. We really, really do appreciate everything you do for us. The likes, the shares, just showing up. You guys are awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you. Jack, anything you want to show?
Yeah, I'll drop a link to a cool video. As always, thank you so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. Really generous tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Because seriously, I ate buffalo dipping sauce with spaghetti, and it was not good.
That sounds gross as shit.
It wasn't as bad as you'd think, but it wasn't good either.
I don't like buffalo. I don't like that taste.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
I have good taste buds. Rogue ass Sons of the Forest. Nah, I'm not gonna play Sons tonight, but maybe soon. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here. Oh, so thank you, Evolved Potato. Well, maybe the squatter attacks you, and if you don't live in a castle doctrine state, you can't defend yourself, get a restraining order, maybe say they were abusive. That's actually backfired on people before, but yeah, I'm with you morally, but unfortunately, these clowns have way too many rights.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a legal way you could get them out besides the eviction process, but pretty much all of the rights are theirs. You have none.
Yeah.
So
they've been eroding property ownership rights for a very long time, and these people will do anything they can to stay. And they've got a lot of sympathy from the stupid hippies that run things out there.
You know, Jack, I could do this if it was just me. I would turn the heat all the way up and just leave it there because I like it nice and warm. And if I got it 90 degrees in my house, I'd be all right with that.
Well, I would probably hire a couple of my friends to remove all of the common area stuff, all the appliances, all the furniture, and just have a microwave and mini fridge in my bedroom with the lock on the door, and just annoy them out.
Yeah, absolutely. I can be annoying as shit.
Yeah. And whenever they come out, just be constantly right outside the door, like, hi, how are you? Hi.
Chris says sell their stuff when they leave. Again, they have all the rights. They can sue you for that.
Yeah, usually they don't have any stuff. They're just stealing yours.
I might be forced to do things like pee on the floor right in front of their door.
Yeah.
Because as long as it didn't hit them directly, I mean, it'd be hard to prove that it was like, assault or anything.
Well,
it's not illegal to pee on your floor.
No, it's your floor. Well, for now, until they take it over. And one of the things you got to be careful of is they rarely leave the house. When squatters rarely ever are out of the house. So when they're there like that, you can't just wait till they leave and change the locks. What they'll do is they'll wait till you leave and then change the locks. or they'll change your bills over into their name and eventually try and steal your house that way. And it's a horrible nightmare to go through. I've known people that have had to get squatters out of like their rental properties and stuff, but somebody actually in your house while you live there, that's a new one. It's horrible.
My internet is being shit. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one thing with that sell the stuff when they move. This is an Airbnb, right?
Uh-huh.
This should be all of the owner stuff. I would take all of my shit, the dresser, the bed, all of that shit out of the room when any chance you got.
Yeah, I think that would probably they would probably say those are human rights. Remember, refrigerators are human rights.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so that's why you'd have to have like a bunch of your friends over and just wait till they went to the bathroom or something, and then your friends go in and take everything out of the room and like do it within 5 minutes.
If you guys don't know, maybe we'll cover it sometime. The squatter rights in California especially are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
They have all the rights. You have none. Go full Viet Cong. Yeah. Anyhow, we're going to wrap up here, Jack, especially because my internet's being a dick right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, thanks for watching. Oh, hi, Vanilla Bear. How are you? I hope you're well, too, sweetie. Thank y'all for watching. And, Jack, a pleasure as always.
I'm always glad to be here.
Everybody, have a wonderful night. I will be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. Hope to see you there. Take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Hit the like button on your way out. Wasn't the song. What can we do for a song? Don't eat spaghetti with buffalo sauce.
I feel so judged right